And moving on to more news coming in, reports suggest that the US Justice Department has informed European officials that the United States is withdrawing from a multinational group created to investigate leaders responsible for the invasion of Ukraine. So this is big news coming in as we speak with regards to the Justice Department investigating a couple of such cases, and now we're learning that the Justice Department has informed European officials that US is withdrawing from this group that was created to investigate such leaders responsible for invasion of Ukraine. Going across to Siddhant Mishra once again. Siddhant, what more do we know about these reports? I believe these are NYT reports that have suggested the same.
Well, that's right. The decision to withdraw from the International Center for the Prosecution of the Crime of Aggression against Ukraine, which the Biden administration joined in 2023, is the latest indication of the Trump administration's move away from Biden's commitment to holding President Putin personally accountable for crimes against Ukrainians. In fact, this grouping was formed during President Biden's tenure, and this particular announcement of withdrawing from the grouping is coming at a time when there are news doing the rounds that President Trump is likely to speak to President Putin. Now, since day one, President Trump has been trying to be more to make Russia more comfortable for talks. In fact, his statement that NATO went on to the borders of Russia perhaps was in the same line. Then United States voted in favor of Russia in United Nations. Now the withdrawal from this grouping, which was formed to hold President Putin accountable, perhaps is a signal, is a signaling that is being done by President Trump ahead of a very significant talk which he's going to hold with President Putin. As we have been pointing out, that President Trump is desperate. That's an election promise which he made to the people of America, that he's going to end the war on the very first day. And it's been 2 months him being in office, and there has not been a single breakthrough as far as negotiations are concerned. All he could manage is to speak to Russia, to clear the deadlock, to speak to Ukraine, perhaps trying to bring all sides on one table. But since the matter is so complex, there are demands for the peacekeeping troops, whether peacekeeping troops are going to be from the NATO countries or outside the NATO countries. What about the territorial, solution? So those are some very key issues which US could still not find a solution of. And this is the reason that, it's getting difficult for Donald Trump to seal the deal. Now what he's doing is that on one end he's announcing sanctions on Russia. He's saying that US is going too hard on Russia if Russia will not come to the table for the talk. On the other end, he's also giving signals to Russia that, look, I'm ready to understand your perspective. I'm ready to hear out your perspective, what you have to say, voting in favor of Russia and United States, withdrawing from this grouping, making a statement that NATO went on to the Russian border, perhaps is a signaling which Donald Trump is doing ahead of the telephonic conversation with President Putin.
Oh yes, and this despite that heated exchange at the Oval Office just a few days ago.